Terence Crawford. You never know. Terence Crawford has answered Vergil Ortiz after he called him out for a possible battle, in spite of going the full distance. Vergil Ortiz at last accomplished his objective. The fantastic grassland local remaining parts undefeated, having gotten the larger part choice triumph over Seri Bahacek at the Melab Ultra Field. This success procured Ortiz the WBC light middleweight title, however, it put an imperfection on his ideal knockout record anyway. It likewise opens up new open doors for the 26-year-old, who has for quite some time been pursuing and closing. Magnificence, a strong move during his post-battle interview. He got down on Terence Crawford, flagging his next challenge. The once profoundly expected conflict among Crawford and Canelo Alvarez appears to have lost energy, preparing for a likely session between Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Bud Crawford. Neglect caught the premium of His Excellency Turkey Alec Ortiz Jr. made a victorious revisitation of the ring following a 17-month break, quickly dispatching Frederick Lawson and Thomas Dialorme in the early months of the year. Obviously, this ignited a whirlwind of discourse from conspicuous figures in the boxing local area, with many hailing the battle as a current exemplary, having competed together in the past. Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Seri Bahacek appeared to be resolved not to yield an inch from the initial chime. They charged at one another, declining to withdraw. Each round transformed into an extraordinary fight, dazzling the group and cementing its place as a competitor during the current year's Battle of the Year in his 8-year profession. Ortiz Jr. had never been thumped down 2 times, as of not long ago. As the rounds unfurled, he developed more tireless, zeroing in on sharp body shots that continuously wore out his Ukrainian rival. Bahacek merits full recognition for his constant exertion in any event, procuring 11,313 draw from one adjudicator anyway. The other 2 appointed authorities saw Ortiz Jr.'s perseverance and accuracy as enough to secure the triumph, both scoring at 11,412 in support of himself. The great grassland local's accomplishment came soon after Bud Crawford made his light middleweight debut on August 3rd. Crawford, hailing from Nebraska, guaranteed the WBA and WBO titles by overcoming Israel Madoff. Crawford has long shown interest in confronting Canelo Alvarez, yet the Mexican genius doesn't appear to be excited for the session. Alvarez's reaction, alongside his precarious cost request, drove His Excellency Alec to declare that the Crawford-Alvarez battle was off the table, with 2 new bosses presently reigning in the 154 pounds division. A title unification battle gives off an impression of being the following coherent step. Conclusions on the battle's result are parted. Some contend it might have finished in a draw, yet many are reluctant about Ortiz Jr.'s future, especially his likely confrontation with Crawford. This is what a couple of individuals needed to express. Dazzled by the extraordinary and uniformly paired fight, Lou DiBella had just appreciation for Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Seri Bahacek, complimenting them for conveying a genuinely wonderful presentation. He tweeted, "What a battle Ortiz and Bahacek just gave us. I have a draw, presumably in light of the fact that I would rather not lose." Dan Rafael, plainly stimulated by the session, highlighted the uncommon truth that both Ortiz Jr. and Bahacek figured out how to go the full distance. While recognizing the adjudicator's scores, he appeared to accept that the choice was legitimate. Thinking about how firmly the battle was challenged, he tweeted, "First time Ortiz has at any point gone all the way, just second time for Bahacek. We go to the cards in Bahacek versus Ortiz 113, 113, 114, 112x2 for the victor by greater part choice. Ortiz, who brings home the WBC interval 154 championship. What a battle, was extremely close, difficult to contend with it one way or the other." Najee Chill figured Vergil Ortiz Jr. could have gone excessively far with his call out of Terence Crawford, while he perceives Ortiz's ability. The Stogie Talk half underscored that Bud Crawford works on something else entirely. He expressed consciously to Vergil Ortiz Crawford going to severely thrash him. Ryan Garcia communicated sharp analysis of Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s presentation, recommending that Ortiz Jr. ought to try not to extend an air of strength. Garcia, known as Lord RY, brought up that the battle was firmly challenged and featured a few shortcomings in Ortiz Jr.'s game. He said, "Got dropped 2 times, got hit with right hands that you can see coming, face wrecked. Don't talk like you are somebody that is phenomenal when this battle was close." Bahacek overwhelmed everybody when he shared his appearance on his second vocation, misfortune on ex-Ukrainian warrior, with a smidgen of unpretentious dispute, voiced his doubts about the outcome. He recommended that those with a more profound comprehension of the game could offer more clear bits of knowledge into the situation that unfolded in the ring, he tweeted. The people who comprehend boxing understand what simply happened, enthusiastically sharing her energy. Long-term boxing fan and entertainer Rosie Perez communicated her esteem for the zapping and holding session, repeating the feelings of numerous. She likewise hailed it as a force to be reckoned with for the sought-after Battle of the Year's honor, she said. Yo, this battle directly up F competitor Grant winning. Boxing essayist Kevin I marked the session, an exemplary pronouncing it, an uncommon presentation of expertise. He saw the two warriors, Ortiz Jr. and Bahacek, conveying noteworthy exhibitions, as he would see it no matter what the authority result. Neither competitor really lost. He got out whatever a battle Bahacek, and Ortiz just put on a work of art, and it raised the two men. There is no failure in this. The light middleweight division has become one of the most exciting to watch. Thanks to Ortiz Jr. and Crawford getting their triumphs, Sebastian Fonder as of now remains at the front with 2 titles added to his repertoire. In the meantime, expectation works as fans enthusiastically anticipate Tim Tszyu's return, promising a variety of charming matchups not too far off. Vergil Ortiz Jr. faces a critical choice ahead, notwithstanding his triumph. A Sharpie onlooker could have noticed that a persistent rival might represent a serious danger, with Terence Crawford actually equipping to get an undisputed title in an unprecedented third weight class. Going up against Bud straightforwardly could be high-risk move. A smarter procedure may be to challenge other defending champs, for example Fonder or Bakram Moraz Alv. This approach would permit Ortiz to refine his abilities and move toward a standoff with a Nebraskan southpaw. Oscar De La Hoya, as of late, said something regarding the Terence Crawford versus Israel Madoff session, attesting that Vergil Ortiz Jr. grandstands better abilities looked at than the unbeaten contender from Nebraska. Crawford moved forward a weight class to 6 for ladies WBA super welterweight title after a tiresome 12 rounds, but arose triumphant by consistent choice completion, moves unbeaten. Road. As of late, De La Hoya was interrogated concerning the Texas-conceived knockout craftsman's possibilities against Crawford. The boxing advertiser communicated certainty, affirming that Ortiz Jr. has the stuff to overturn Crawford in the ring. De La Hoya communicated that he accepted Ortiz Jr. would be advised to abilities, underlining that there wasn't any need to focus on punching influence. He recognized Crawford's high ring intelligence level, yet proposed that Crawford had been uncovered in his new battle against Madoff. Terence Crawford, as of late, answered Canelo Alvarez's statement that confronting Bud would be a direct errand, recommending that a stunning $150 million would be essential for him to try and engage the matchup. Moreover, Alvarez communicated deeply felt conviction that he could conquer Crawford if they somehow managed to meet in the ring at 168 pounds. Following Crawford's triumph in the super welterweight division against Israel Madoff, there was a flood of energy about an expected conflict between the Nebraska contender and Alvarez, as Alvarez plans for his impending session with Edgar Berlanga. He was examined concerning the possibility of confronting Crawford in the ring. The Mexican boxing sensation excused Crawford's capacities and recommended he would just consider a session with him for a strong payday. In a new appearance on the Porterway web recording, Crawford answered Alvarez's remarks, expressing, "I heard him say I'm simple work. In the event that I was simple work, you'd take all the cash that Turkey Alec is offering you yet. He needs $200 million for benefits, and he maintains that $150 million should battle me, so that tells me not too far off. I'm a danger to him and his inheritance, since it would be insane for a person that began at 135 and came as far as possible up to 168 your weight, no catch weight, and depose you like 2 competitors near the precarious edge of a title session, each flaunting almost a 100% knockout rate. Saturday's lesser middleweight conflict between Vergil Ortiz and Sari Bahacek has caught the full focal point of the game's freshest relational ranger, Saudi Arabia's Turkey Alec, in the wake of conveying a staggering first-round knockout with a body blow against veteran Thomas Deller, Texas. Ortiz arisen as a possible next rival for recently delegated Ford Division and World Boxing Affiliation champion Terence Crawford. Alec drifted Ortiz's name on Saturday night as a chance in the event that exchanges with Canelo Alvarez don't work out as expected. The expected conversations have fallen through, as well as pressures between the gatherings are likewise heightening. Alvarez's refusal to meet with Alec to examine his forthcoming battle following Alvarez's really center midweight title guard against Edgar Berlanga on September 14th has extended the fracture between them. In a post on X early Wednesday morning, Alec composed, "I heard what Canelo said, that he regards me yet could do without the manner in which we carry on with work with respect to him regarding me. It doesn't make any difference to me in the event that he does or not with respect to the manner in which I do business. I have at least some idea why he could do without it, since I just objective enormous battles at fair cost. So obviously any individual who loves simple battles won't generally care for that, he further added, and I know how he feels subsequent to losing to Bivol, so he's been searching for simpler battles, since likewise I'm not the person who's apprehensive about battling Bennett's or Crawford. Thusly, I realize he was burning through our time and making pardons with huge measures of cash that can't be paid, so I'm proceeding with my method for making large battles that serve the boxing scene, and he's en route to making simple show, just battles. Basically, Crawford is on the chase after another force to be reckoned with for his impending session. And Ortiz has arisen as the most loved competitor on Tuesday's episode of Starbucks Television's large battle breakdown experts Polly Malagi, Chris Algeri, and Teddy at separated Ortiz Bohacek. Previous welterweight champion Malagi said this is no gimme with this style. This could be a way they go with a fast closure or conflict. The two people are able, persevering, and super frightening. Ukraine's Bohacek, holder of the World Boxing Board's in-between time junior middleweight title, was scheduled to confront the Supreme WBC World Boxing Association 154 pounds boss Sebastian Fonder in spring anyway when Keith Thurman pulled out of his session with Tim Tszyu. Fonder stepped in, conveying an amazing triumph over a seriously harmed Tszyu. In the meantime, Bohacek got a consistent choice success against Brian Mendoza. Matt Book is dazzled with every warrior's influence punching, yet he alluded to that resource at a periodic revival for contenders who don't foster the things around it. Matt Book ponders, it's a truly captivating battle. Bohacek is a strong person who does all that behind the poke. Will coach Robert Garcia and Vergil Ortiz counter the right hand over the hit, and Bohacek has a jaw of rock, Algeri noted. Molina, computer-based intelligence, said this possibly could turn out to be some sort of battle. The hazardousness on the two sides rushes you before the profile, raising notice of Ortiz by a Lulshik, Algeri said. As far as the names and cash, Terence Crawford is searching for Vergil Ortiz isn't there yet. I feel like he really wants more. Ortiz's wonderful Saturday win not just positions him as the force to be reckoned with for first WBC title, yet additionally places him in the blend-in with Crawford close by previous brought together welterweight champ Errol Spence Jr. This triumph could likewise convince Schick to push harder for a Crawford-Ortiz session, possibly highlighting it on either his December 21st or February 2025 cards in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, in the wake of recuperating from medical conditions that saved him down and out for the summer of 2023. Ortiz told Boxing Scene he was anticipating a run of large battles in the rich division. Assuming you're battling extreme, a large number of battles after battle, you won't see a person go on a run. You're either going to get knocked off or you won't look great.